All right, so Green Life Farms Farm Store. This is our third avenue of selling, and we're just gonna go through the next few minutes and discuss why you need it, what it's good for, how we use it, what we do differently, and I hope you enjoy this. Okay, so I'm actually gonna take you back a few years. So 3 years ago, we already discussed in the last little video about our farmer's market. We were not excelling, we were having issues, and I came home really frustrated because I had a full truckload of vegetables that didn't sell at the market. And I really didn't know what to do. And thank goodness my wife talked some sense into me, and she said, Daniel, listen, just put up a sign, put it down at the bottom of our hill, our driveway, and say we have fresh veggies for sale. And I'll be honest, I was very skeptical, but I did it. I listened, and I went, we painted a sign, we put up the name Farm Store and pointed an arrow towards our farm. Put it down, and we also did a little Facebook advertisement as well, just saying that, you know, we have a farm store, we have some veggies for sale here. And before the end of the day was done, everything that came home in the market was gone. And so that was a huge eye opener for me, because I was like, man, we just sold our veggies at the farm. And I don't know why this was such a huge thing for me, but I realized, okay, we have a totally new way of selling that we haven't tapped into that could be huge. And so then this was towards the end of I believe it was our second or third year. And so I said during the off season, I actually wrote up a plan of, we're going to take a room in the house and we're going to convert it into an actual farm store. It was an old porch that wasn't used for anything. We put double doors in, and we changed it to our farm store. And this became, and still is now, one of our biggest avenues of sales. And I definitely think no matter where you are located, it's important to have an on-site farm store. Okay, so the neat thing about a farm store is the fact that you can have it open multiple days of the week. The biggest thing to remember is when it comes to anything, and we're bad for this too, is you want something that's convenient. If it's only on a Friday or only on a Saturday, you're going to have issues and you're going to alienate certain people from buying from you. And that's the last thing you want to do. If people want to buy from you, you want to give them a sales avenue and the availability to buy from you. So at Green Life Farm, when we first started with selling a few days a week, or sometimes on weekends. But as it moved on, we opened the hours longer and we opened the days longer. And we actually still sell the same day as our farmers markets. So we have a guy out doing the farmers markets and we have our farm store open. And there's many days that our farm store will do better than the markets, even on the farmers market days, which is really good. So the biggest thing that I would say is you know, the neat part why the store does better than the farmers market is the time. There's more days in a week. You can have it open. For us, we open it Tuesday morning, and we keep it open all the way till Saturday. I think we close down around 7 o'clock at night, and that's just so that the people who work till 5 can still come afterwards. And we do notice that having it open after 5 brings in a lot of extra sales at the end of the day, because there's a lot of people driving home right at 5 o'clock, and they still want that produce. We have a lot of people, I would say we're hitting around 25% of our, during the weekdays, of our sales after 5 o'clock. People want us to buy from you. And so those extra 2 hours having it open until 7 for us made a big difference. Okay, so the neat part about having a farm store is it allows you to be a bit more creative. So one neat thing that we did is we painted, and you've seen it in our other videos, is we actually painted one of our walls with chalk paint. And the neat part about this is it allowed us to put all our prices right on there. So people aren't trying to look around, you're not dealing with flimsy farmers market signs. It's all on the wall. We can update it, we can change it, people can take a look. Anything they want, it's on there. Another neat thing is the farmers markets, you can have issues with different vegetables wilting in the heat, but in your farm store, first of all, you can have it air conditioning so it can be cool and your vegetables stay nice and crisp. The other thing is we actually use a physical cooler for our greens. So they stay the quality is just amazing on them. It works really, really well. So when you're thinking about a farm store, you do want to you want to put a little budget aside. Now we went on Kijiji, or it was either Kijiji or Facebook Marketplace, and we actually found a cooler. I think we paid $300 for it. So it's not expensive to set up a store, and it pays back. You know, the return comes in. People will buy. They continually buy. The produce, when it looks fresh, it keeps fresh. It's going to sell for you. You want to make sure you do that. Okay, so setup is a little different. The neat part about it is you still want to do something similar with the farmer's market where you stack it high, but you don't have to have a bunch of extra totes of cucumbers lying around underneath or in your cooler or wherever it is, because the fact that you can go out into the greenhouse and harvest on demand. So we do have a few employees at the farm, so this can work well if we're having. For us here at our location in Miramichi, pickling season is massive. So we can go through easily 300-400 cucumbers in a day. Now, our little stand only holds about 75. So what happens is, as we see it starting to get lower, we'll just send an employee out and they'll pick another 75. They'll wash it up in the cool water. They'll bring it right out. So there's some cool things you can do with that. Same thing with carrots. We'll put 30 bunches out. After 10 bunches have sold, we'll get another 20 bunches. It's very simple. You can do a bit more give and go with that. You don't have to have it all pre-harvested. Now, I will mention, when it comes to Saturday, Saturday is always a big day at our store, and we actually harvest extra for that. So we would take, for example, we had strawberries this year, and strawberries in our area, people go crazy for them. So we actually pre-harvested 300 containers of strawberries. And I'll just give you a quick thing on that is those strawberries sold in 45 minutes. So having a store at your location with something that really draws a crowd. So for us, strawberries and yellow beans draw a crowd. If you can have those while people are there, you can do your upselling. So that's the big thing to remember. This is how powerful it can be is you bring in those draw items. They're going to sell quick, but it brings people in, and while they're there, you upsell. You sell them the bunch of carrots, you sell them the pack of peas, you sell them the thing of lettuce, and this is where the sales start rolling in. So it's an extremely powerful tool, and it's really neat. As things start running low, you send employees in and out. We can keep harvesting, keep everything flowing. Okay, so our staffing works a little different when it comes to our farm store. We do it in two different ways mainly. So during the weekdays, so from Tuesday to Friday, it's kind of on demand. So we'll take turns. We see a car coming up, and we have a sign out front of our store that actually says "Honk for service." We're out harvesting, and this has worked fantastic. People haven't taken anything, they didn't steal anything, and they come into the store. By the time they get into the store, we're usually coming in the back door, so it works fantastic. So what we do is, because we talked about presentation, about looking clean, we actually had designed some aprons with our logo. And so as we're going into the store, we grab the apron, we throw it on, we look clean. It covers all the dirt on our shirts, covers the pants, looks presentable. Now, on the weekend, like I said, on that Saturday, it's very busy. So first thing in the morning, the first 2 hours is probably our busiest. And we usually have, well, actually this year we had up to 4 people in the store at one time just to service the amount of people. But as the day wears on and people come in less and less, we have one guy who's designated to watch the store. If he needs a hand, sometimes he'll send us a text, or he'll say, I need a few more items of this, and that's fine. But yeah, it's pretty simple. Throughout the week, take turns. On that weekend, we all start, and then we slowly diminish as the day goes on. Okay, so store hours are going to be different for everybody, because it really is dictated by your market. So in the very first year, we started first thing in the morning, and we realized that people didn't really show up till 11 o'clock. You might have had like 1 or 2 people throughout the week that showed up earlier. And we realized it was just more of a headache for us to try to get things out very first thing in the morning. and then realize, oh, we're waiting for people. So for us, our market really dictated our hours. So we started at 11 o'clock and we run till 7. So the neat part about that is that's an 8-hour shift. So you don't even have to have multiple staff coming in early and then another staff coming in later. It works very clean for us, very simple. And then on Saturday, another reason why it is more busy is the fact that we do start a bit earlier on Saturday. We start at 9 o'clock in the morning, but we're finished by 2. So the nice part about that, it gives us the rest of the afternoon of Saturday to take it easy, have the afternoon off. It also gives us our Sunday off. And like I said before, since we run it from Tuesday to Saturday, we also take Monday off. It's very important that you don't tire yourself out too much, not try to run 24/7. As your farm grows and you have bigger aspirations, yeah, maybe you could have multiple staffs coming in at different times and shift work. But when it comes to starting, just keep it simple. Run a 5-day week. Make sure you can work with the hours that's dictated to you by your market, and it's going to work out for you. It's going to pay dividends. So this one's a neat one. So I told you in the previous video that we try to push people to our store more and more now, because that's where we know we're going to capture the bulk of the sales. But one of the very neat things that we do, and I talked about at the beginning of even this video, is our signage at the road. There's so many people who drive by and then they come up the lane, they said, hey, I was just driving by, saw the sign and I wanted to see what you have. And then they come back multiple times throughout the summer, continually. Sometimes we'll see people 2 and 3 times in the same week buying consistently $30 sales. That's when you know you're actually feeding people, because they're coming back over and over and over. So yeah, signage at the road is really important. And we're, even at Greenlight Farm, we plan on keep upgrading that. You don't want to put out a big signage, sale for this, or, it's pickling season, we have cucumbers. Make it big, make it be able to be visible, and it's going to work for you. Another thing we do is we do run some Facebook videos, just some live stuff. Hey, here at the farm store, we're here till 7. And then we'll show just what's in the store, what's available at the time. People like that stuff, they respond to it, and they'll come and buy from you. So as you can see, we've gone through everything here. It's very important to have a farm store. I can't stress it enough. Even if it doesn't pay as big as your farmers markets in the starting, over time that location is going to be known, and people will want to come out if you can offer stuff that, like strawberries. No one else in our area has strawberries, so people will drive 30-40 minutes out to come to our farm to buy our strawberries. So have a few of those key items. It's going to bring people in. You can do the upsell. It's going to be really good for your cash flow. If you can run that simultaneously with your markets, you're going to notice much bigger weeks, and your farm can get ahead much quicker. You can move much farther than we did. I'm trying to give you this information to get you to start off where I am now, not where I started. I want to give you these tips and tricks to show you that a few little creative ideas can make a world of a difference for your farm. So if you can have a little room, a little shed that you can convert, even a pop-up stand at your farm, get that farm store started.